Today is August 8th, and as many of you know, my name is Inger Stark, and I'm here because I have the good fortune of having Trustee Hogan with us. And she is just going to share a few minutes of her time to lift us up at the beginning of the semester. So, Trustee Hogan, you are a very unique trustee. You are a student trustee, and I was wondering if you could tell us why you wanted to be a trustee and what you hope to accomplish as a trustee.
Well, I wanted to be a trustee because I wanted to learn more about student government. And my activities director, Doris Hankins, she encouraged me to apply. And I was already, I had already applied for the vice presidency for the ASMC. So she said that, this would be a better, you will have a better platform to be able to learn from if you were a trustee, and no one else has actually applied. So I applied and I won. I won the seat. I was totally unprepared. I didn't know what it entailed, but as time went along, I was able to navigate and go over the reports and the agendas and see exactly how it works behind the scenes. And I was impressed. I liked it. I said, this is something that a student should have a voice in. And yes, it is a little catty sometimes, but that's what any type of board or organization that's going to be like that.
You put eight people together and ask them to agree on anything, and it can become difficult, right?
It's going to be difficult, especially if they come from different backgrounds and different, ways of life. It's just going to happen. But it was still a lot of respect there. So I like that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go.
I was going to say, could you give folks an example or two of an issue that the board deliberated on, where you felt your voice as a student was crucial to their understanding and decision making? Because I think most of our board are board members because they care about the students in the communities, but they're not students, right? So are there any things you can think of where your voice and the other student trustees' voices really contributed meaningfully to the dialogue and the decision making?
Well, in every meeting, there's the student leadership gives their reports. So when the reports are giving, the regular trustees, they listen to that and they take into consideration exactly what we're doing as a student leadership. And they basically they uphold us. They uphold us and they support us in any way that they can. They even come out to some of our events. And it just seems like they care a lot about what the students have to say. That's why they give us a platform every meeting. I've never ever spoke on it because I'm actually shy to speak. But I've seen how the student voice has carried the meetings a different direction in some cases. And I seen that when the students were talking about classes being cut, and there was a lot that the board did to help bridge that, to help the students not be affected as much with that, with the classes being cut, and not having enough enrollment and things like that. So that was interesting to see and to watch and to participate in.
You know, I think
Um,
sometimes our students don't realize how much power they have within our institution. They're busy going to school and trying to get from campus to campus and deal with family and jobs. And they're just like barely hanging on a lot of the time. Their lives are so busy, but I don't think they realize how much power their voice has, particularly with our board of trustees. So I'm
well,
really
yeah.
glad you said that because I feel like sharing this video with our students on Flex Day.
Yes, they should. And I would, well, I've been juggled from vice president of preparatory governance to vice president, and then now I'm president. So a lot of students, I can't say it's not for everybody, but you have to be available and prepared for the work. And if you have a full-time schedule, children, and a job, a full-time, like, it's almost impossible to do. The only reason why I'm able to do it is because my daughter is an adult. I work as a sub, so I work when I want to, like per diem. And I also have a passion for learning leadership. I want to be in a position of leadership. I feel my particular voice, because I'm older, has a little bit more substance to it than someone that is 22 years old, just entering into the college, just entering into the secondary educational world.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I really stuck with it, and this is my second term, so I did it again.
Yeah. So tell me, first of all, I'm really glad you did, and I'm really glad you said all that. And I am going to see if there's a way where we can share this little video with our students as well as the employees of the district, because that's a really meaningful thing for you to share and to encourage students to participate, if not in student government, then at least coming and speaking to the board, because they may realize that has a big impact.
Yes. It would be like just astonishing to have more students to, even if they can't participate in the leadership, for them to at least be able to listen to see what leadership is talking about and what's going on behind the scenes, who's making, the rules for the rest of the school year, are the 5-year forecast, because it's not just for the rest of the school year, it's a 5-year forecast.
Right.
And students could have a big, they could change things. They can make things happen that they need to happen. And if a board of trustee who doesn't actually have to catch the bus to school or has to juggle having children and going to school wouldn't understand the same needs as those students that do.
And I just think that's part of why it's structured in that the student leadership at each of the colleges is given a moment to speak at the meetings. And then also there's that public space for anyone, including students, to come and speak. And why we have 2 student trustees too, because if all else fails, the 2 of you are there to contribute your experience and wisdom to the dialogue. So if you said there were maybe 3 things that are really important to you as a trustee for our district to know and address and embrace in this coming year, what would be your priorities as a trustee and a leader in our district? What would you like to see move, change, happen? What are your priorities as a trustee for us?
Right now, because this is my second term, I'm trying to personally, I'm trying to learn more. Like I'm attending more of the seminars and I'm attending everything that I can, even if I have to take off of work, because that's where the real learning happens. Like when I've gone to 2 one general assembly and then one conference in Dana Point. And both of those events, they taught me like things that I can take along with me for the rest of my life if I want to, for leadership. And it also pertains to students, which is my my passion. I am a preschool teacher, so it enlightened me. And I can't even explain how much it enlightened me, but it did. It gave me a lot of tools and it connects you to other people. You network with different trustees from all over California. And it's a good thing. And that's the portion that I like the most, is that I'm able to do more connecting and being able to bring that back to my community.
Oh, that is really beautiful. And what are you going to do with all that knowledge on our board? How are you going to bring all that wisdom and knowledge? And
well, actually, I'm on the diversity inclusion. I think it's DEI, diversity, inclusion, and equity and inclusion. And I was able to bring some of the information that I learned that I picked up at one of the workshops with the CCL, which is the California Community College League. And it was talking about how to retain students that have left. What can we do as teachers, as other student leaders, to make sure that if a student is not responding anymore, has just stopped coming to class, how can we reach out and help that student? And I brought that type of that conversation to one of those meetings, and they were astonished. They were astonished that I even said anything, because I rarely say anything. But it was important for me to say that during that meeting, because I felt like it was relevant and it could help our school too. So I brought that, and they listened.
That is amazing. Many students stop going to school at different points in their life for many reasons. I was in and out of school 5 times before I finished my bachelor's degree and even went to graduate school. But I had good fortune and privilege to be able to go to school if I wanted to continue. I stopped for other reasons, personal reasons, right?
Yeah.
Many students stop because they have to, for one reason or another. And
working. I had to stop to work.
Yeah.
It took me 20 years to graduate from merit.
You are like me. I'm the same. It took me I think it took me 15 or 16 to get out of community college, and then like another 7 to get out of Davis. So.
And I went to, I transferred to UC Riverside. I did transfer, but my mom passed away. So I had to come back out here, but I didn't give up. I continued to go to school. I went right back to Merit, where I felt comfortable. And I knew that there were transferable credits and units that I could take when I decided to go back to finish my bachelor's, which I am. I'm going to do it. I don't know when yet. My daughter is having kids. I have grandchildren now, so.
Life is busy, life is full. And some of that's good, like grandchildren, and some of it's not. Like people, as you well know, lose jobs or people pass. I'm really sorry about your mom and that impediment for your education. And so I'm really glad you brought that one up in that meeting. And I know Peralta is trying harder to do that very thing, to make sure that anything that we as an institution can do, we do. If there's nothing we can do, fine. But if there's anything that we can do to support students.
But I brought I was able to bring my own scenario to that, because my younger sisters, they attended Merit College as well. and they just stopped going. They didn't have a reason to stop going. They just stopped going and said that they didn't want to do it anymore. And if someone would have reached out to them besides me, because I was on them, I was like, come on now, this is an EMT program. You guys will have a great income. We can buy property and build wealth for ourselves. No one at the school, no teacher, no counselor, no one reached out to them.
Yeah.
And had they felt that someone at the school other than me, because I don't know, because I'm their sister, they look at me like I'm a nerd. And they didn't respond very well to me trying to encourage them. But if someone else would have, like a counselor or a task force that could be created to reach out to students that have fallen off and that were doing good and fell off,
Yeah, like even student ambassadors could do that. They could call and say, hey, I'm a student ambassador. Is there any way that this institution we can help you or something? I mean, I don't know the logistics of how that works, but I hear you. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. There was a Robert, I think his name was Wood. Not Luke Wood. He had
yeah.
You've heard of him?
Oh, yes, I've heard of him. He's spoken a number of times at Peralta to his employees, and I watch everything I can find of his.
I like Luke.
He's really good. He makes really, really complex things translate into really workable solutions. Like, here's what you actually do.
That's, he got me. That's one of his workshops is what I brought back. So,
oh, that's amazing. So if I were to propose to our district employees that we'd like to have Luke Wood come back and do some more training, you would agree with that?
Yes, I would. I would definitely agree with it. We need, because he relates to different demographics, not just one, and that's what I like that about him. Like, he's just not focused on the African-American students. He focuses on the athletes, the Latino students, the Asian and Pacific, everybody. And that's what really drew me to his workshop. I stayed I listened and stayed for the whole thing. And I also attended some of his sessions that he had with Keith this summer. So I've been following him.
So, all right, if I hear of anything else, that if he's going to come back to Peralta in any way, shape, or form and do any of his workshops or trainings, I will personally let you know, Trustee Hogan, I promise, and invite you.
Thank you. And let some of the faculty, has he spoken with faculty?
He's presented, I know he presented at Laney, and I believe he's been to Laney twice, and I even think he might have done a presentation at BCC. I'd have to check back, but he's a very in-demand speaker and leader about how institutions and education can transform to support all students, right? Particularly students from historically marginalized communities and backgrounds. And I love the way he makes it do these things. It's not like he just talks about it. He actually says, these are things you can actually do.
And they're doing them. And the not just crammy numbers. I don't like the crammy numbers. But the way he presented his numbers, it was like, are you serious? Are you sure this actually happened like this? And he assured, like, yes, this happened. This was a turnaround. Our program did this. And I'm like, if your program in Santa Rosa can do that, then we should be able to do that here in the Bay Area as well. Because
especially if we have student trustees who are leaders of those initiatives.
Yes. And I'm busy, but I'm willing to take a stand to help our students. I want Oakland to succeed. I do. Well, I want us all to succeed, not just Oakland, everybody. Everybody should have a big piece of the pie.
That's awesome. You're amazing. This is really wonderful to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm horrible, right? You were right. I was not really feeling good, but you helped me. I'm back.
All right.
Feel
So
better.
let's do this. I think we should close fairly soon. I'm gonna share this recording with our PIO, who will help make sure it's captioned and stuff. And I'll send you a link so that you have a first right of refusal. But if you're comfortable with our conversation, then what I'm going to do is next week for our Flex Day, I'm going to share it with our district employees so they can learn from you and your wisdom and see what your vision is. And then I also am going to try to figure out a way to share this with students, because I think it'd be very, very meaningful to share with our student population as well. You're very inspiring and encouraging. And I think there's a lot of value in that for other students. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Is it how do you pronounce Inger?
Inger, yes.
I like it. I said I don't want to say it wrong, but it's
that's all right. I didn't say your last name right at the very beginning. Trustee Hogan.
It's all right. It's all right.
So hopefully our paths will cross again soon. And thank you so much for sharing your time with our for our district Flex Day.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. See you around. Okay. Don't forget about Mr. Luke, though.
I will. I promise. I promise.
Okay.